Okay, so today I was just doing some reflection on just like life in general and my YouTube channel, of course, because I've been posting for probably almost a year on this channel. Took a long break, but my channel is mostly focused on my journey through medical school and, doing that, making it to residency and then becoming a physician, all of that. But that's, long in the future. But, I also just wanted to expand my channel and share like more of my life outside of medicine. And like I talked about this in other videos, but I feel like it's so easy to let your life be solely focused and centered on like medical school and being a future doctor. But there's like more to me than that, and there's like much more to life than just school and work. Like we let that take over our whole life and our whole identity. So I'm just trying to expand my channel more and, reach more people through different methods and means and modes and all that. So today I'm going to talk about, what I've been learning in my 20s. And I mean, I'm only 23, so I'm not old yet. I'm only 23, just being clear. I still have a lot more of my 20s left to go, but I just want to talk a little bit about, what I've learned, like, I guess for the past, like, 2-3 years since I am 23. So, yeah. And to, like, what I've learned, I just want to talk about the fact that, like, lately, I really have just been trying to reflect more on life and, how I've grown over the past 2 to 3 years and what things have changed about me, what things I'm like happy about right now in life, and what things I'm like struggling with and not so happy. And I think it's really important to just reflect on like the things you're going through and what's happening in your life at like whatever moment you're thinking about it at. Whether it's through like journaling, through like talking to a counselor, just talking to friends, or just sitting and like meditating on, what you're going through at that moment. Reflection is very important because, that's how we, acknowledge our growth and acknowledge the things that we need to work on. Because if you don't ever think about them, then like, what's the point, So, yeah, that's what I'm doing today. And I'm just talking to the camera. So yeah, this is like a therapy session. Before I go any further, if you aren't subscribed to my channel, please do so right now. I really appreciate it. And then please leave a thumbs up on this video and then leave a comment with any like suggestions, any comments on the video or anything like that. But let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing that I've like learned, or I guess one of the things that I've learned, is the importance of putting yourself out there. Like I feel like putting yourself out there in like uncomfortable situations, in my eyes, it'll always be a good thing, no matter what the outcome is. And I know that may confuse you because sometimes the outcome like may be bad, or it may be an outcome that you didn't really want, or you weren't really working towards. But at the same time, I feel like there are lessons to learn from everything. And even if you say, you're putting yourself out there, you have stage fright, for example, right? So you put yourself out there, you end up giving a speech or running for like student council at your school, and then you always have to like give a speech in front of like your class or whoever that may be, whoever will be voting for you. And so that's like something that you're doing to like get over that fear, and you're going to be uncomfortable. And even if you end up like stumbling on your words, stuttering throughout the speech, shaking and getting nervous, it's like you still did that. So that's something that you're working on, and the more you do it, the better you will be. So even though you put yourself out there and it did not go as planned, it did not go good, you still were working towards making it to your goal, which is to be more comfortable speaking in front of people. And like the only way to become comfortable with certain things like that, and many other things, is to like just try it out and keep doing it. Even with YouTube, I was so nervous, and like I had an old channel before this one, and like sometimes I just look back at the videos and like I'm a whole completely different person on camera. And it's crazy because at first it was kind of weird talking to my camera, and it made me feel uncomfortable even though nobody was watching me. And also on top of that, I was nervous to post a video because then I knew people people that I follow on Instagram and people who follow me and all my friends and family who on my Facebook page, they will see it. And that's also scary, putting yourself out there in front of people, because I feel like stuff like this is sometimes like looked at as like embarrassing, especially if you don't get like many views, something like that. Like some people post and they only get like 50 views, and some people may see that as embarrassing, but I see that as them just working towards becoming more comfortable and working towards their goals, whether that's to become a YouTuber, influencer, or whatever that may be. So I think that putting yourself out there will always be a good thing. Something else that I've learned, and I feel like this is something that I was doing throughout high school as well, but I learned the true importance of it while I was in college, and then, you know, as I've transitioned to medical school, is surrounding yourself with people who in your eyes are like smarter than you, or like more hardworking than you, or more like successful than you. And I'm doing this just because that's very subjective, but I think it's really important to surround yourself with people who you see as being like a bit higher in like certain proficiencies or certain things that you're working towards, because then they will motivate you to do better, and you can also use them as a resource to, you know, continue to work on yourself and, you know, make it further in your quest towards your goals. And, you know, for example, I'm in medical school, and I do have friends who I feel like are smarter than me. And when I say smarter, I don't mean that I'm just like stupid and they're just like so high and mighty. I mean that they just learn things more quickly, more efficiently, more naturally, and they also came into medical school with more knowledge than me to start with, and so learning the material is much easier for them, and it happens at a much faster pace. And so I think that there's definitely a lot that I can learn from them and the ways that they study, and then I can apply it to the way I study in an effort to become more proficient and quicker myself. And so I don't think it's about like focusing on the fact that they're like so much smarter or so much more intelligent than me. That's not the point. The point is that, you know, surrounding myself with them will allow some of their habits, like their study habits and just, you know, habits overall as, you know, intelligent beings, to, you know, rub off on me. That way I can learn from them and I can become a better person as well. You know, I think there's something to learn from pretty much anybody else that you're around, even those who I don't feel like are that much smarter than me. Those who are on my level, I can still learn from them. So I think it's just, you know, surrounding yourself with people who are hardworking and people who you know, really delve into their passions and, you know, work hard to reach their goals. I think that that's very important, because, you know, if you surround yourself with people who don't really care about life, have no passions, just sit around all day, don't really want to work for what they have and all that, that can rub off on you, because then you can kind of become comfortable and complacent like them and start to, you know, develop some of the habits that they have, and then you're in the same situation as them. So I think that is definitely something that, you know, I would take throughout life. Always try to be around people who can help push you to that next level. Okay, the next thing I've learned, I want y'all to listen to this, because, and I'm talking to myself too, sometimes I have to like check myself, because y'all, I get on my nerve. I get on my own nerve, honestly. But be proud of the progress that you've made and stop comparing yourself to other people, okay? Because I feel like, well, it's very natural to compare yourself to other people. I feel like that's just something that we do as humans in general. But that's so unhealthy, y'all. It's so unhealthy. Like, everybody's journey will be different. Even if you're working towards the same thing, everybody's journey will be different, and there will be different things that you have to do to make it to point B, and then there'll be different things that they have to do to make it to point B. They may have an easier time making it to point B because they had people in their lives to assist them, or maybe they were already born into a certain, you know, place where they didn't have to work as hard, like in terms of like financial gain or something like that. And so I think that it's very unhealthy to, you know, always compare yourself to other people, and like it'll never get you anywhere. Now what you can do when looking at other people is look at the ways in which, going back to the point about like surrounding yourself with those people who, you know, work hard and all that stuff. Like if there's somebody in the position that you want to be, whether that's a job, whether that's like you're into real estate and you're trying to figure out how people are selling $1 million houses, how they're getting these listings. And so I think that there's value in looking at how they have made it there and what type of like techniques they use and, you know, what type of skill sets they've developed. But simply comparing yourself to them will do nothing. That's a waste of time. You need to look at the ways in which they strategize and, you know, the methods they use to get there, what type of like resources they used to learn more about this certain topic or that certain topic to get them where they are. And then that can be a benefit in comparing yourself, because then maybe they, you know, use certain resources that you didn't. You use that resource, you get closer to it. But simply comparing the fact that they're here and you're there, it won't get anybody anywhere. It's very unhealthy. Like, I feel like pre-med students do that a lot, and especially when you see people get into medical school, it's always like, why did they get in and I didn't? And you know, it's not healthy. And so we have to get out of the mindset of like comparing ourselves, rather than like just learning from their successes and learning also from your own failures. So yeah, do that. Also, y'all, another thing that I've learned, let me just sip my coffee right quick, my bad. I'm a caffeine addict and I haven't had coffee in like 3-4 days, my bad. But I've also learned that it's just like important to be able to say no to people. Throughout life, honestly, I've always just been like, I've always had like a helping spirit. And so it gets toxic at times, because sometimes I overextend myself and say yes to things that I know I don't have time for. I know that I've never, you know, tried, so then it'll be even harder and more time consuming for me to complete that task. And just things that I don't really want to do, if that makes sense. And so I've learned the importance of just saying no to people, or, you know, in a nice way, saying that, you know, you don't have time for it. Even though you don't owe anybody an explanation, I still like to sometimes give one, just so that, you know, they don't think I don't care, I just don't want to help in general. But yeah, saying no can be very valuable, because people who always say yes, what would stop somebody from always coming to you and asking you specifically every single time they need help? And it's not that you should be like mean about it. It's just the fact that we all have our own things going on, and especially being in medical school, and like I know I keep bringing up medical school, but yeah, that's just my life right now, so I'm sorry. But it's like being in medical school, I just like, my time is very valuable and it's limited, and so I have to also make sure that I have time for myself. I do want to help other people, I really do. Like I love helping other people. I love, like, no matter what it is, I just love helping people in general. And as cliche as that sounds, but yeah, I think it's just important to be able to, you know, value your own personal time as well, and value what you have going on, while also, you know, still trying to help others. You have to pour into yourself to be able to pour into others. Just saying. But yeah, I said no to something like a few weeks ago, and honestly, I felt really good about it. I really did. But that's all for this video, honestly. I really appreciate y'all tuning into my video. I'm gonna start trying to be more consistent with my YouTube videos, and I will be pumping out like a lot of videos in the next few weeks, just to like get my channel back out there, and also just like motivate myself to make more videos. Now I feel like before I was focusing just so much on like medical school. It was like draining me, and I was getting kind of like bored with it. I still will make videos about medical school, because that is my life, and that's something that I am really like passionate about, and, you know, love to share and love to like give advice and help other people and show the journey. But I also want to just show other aspects of my life, and, you know, talk more about just like life in general, goals, and, you know, the values that I have, and things that I love outside of medicine. So if you want to hear more about that, then please subscribe to my channel down below. I don't know which side that's on. So on that side, one of the two you pick. And then please leave a like on this video. And then leave a comment with any video suggestions, any questions about medical school, about being in my 20s, about life in general. But yeah, I appreciate y'all support, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace out.